All right, all right, all right. A little evening sounds for your pleasure. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh man, you could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with yours truly. So let's get in here and learn. Let's get in here and do what we do best. Let's get in here and do what we was gifted to do, what we were born to do. Woo-hoo. I often tell people I was born to do this work. I was born to do it. That's why I'm so good at it. My girl. And so well tonight, y'all, we're gonna do a question and answer tonight. All right. I normally do it later in the week, but I'm doing it early in the week tonight. I'm going to answer questions. Now, look, I ain't going to get to everybody's question, but I'm going to answer your questions. But before we jump in to answering questions, y'all know we gotta tell me, name, where you from, and all that. But I got a story to tell y'all. I got a story to tell y'all about one of my clients. Y'all know I always tell you stories because a lot of times when I tell you things, because there is nothing new under the sun. All right. Somebody done been through it, somebody done dealt with it. I mean, or not, or somebody they have found a way to work through it. Either way, either way, somebody's done it. All right. And so remember this: success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And so many of the things that I have been successful at, or my clients have been successful at, it has left us clues. And so tonight, we're going to talk about that. All right, but if you're on, give me some hearts, give me some loves. We're gonna wait about a minute or two before everybody gets on. We'll give people an opportunity to get on. But in the meantime, while we're while we're waiting, I'd love to know your first name and where you are checking in from, because I know that you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me tonight. So we got Erica Fairbanks from Chicago in the building. We got D in the building. D always listen, y'all. I love D. D from South Carolina in the building. We got Andrea from Arkansas in the building. Thank you, Arkansas. Thank you, Andrea, for joining me tonight. All right, let me know where y'all were checking in from. Where are you checking in from? We got Deborah from Louisiana. We got Miss AD from Dallas in the building. Linda from Torrance, California in the building. We got L from Charlotte, North Carolina. We got CC from Brooklyn, Nikki, Nicole from Pennsylvania. We got Paula from New York, J. Vale in the house, Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the building. Thank y'all for joining me. We got what's that? All right, we got Angela from Chicago. I hate what's going on in Chicago, Angela. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, we got Sparkle from Nebraska in the building. All right, hey Sparkle, how are you? All right, y'all. So I want to make sure that I'm let's see. I want to make sure that all of you all, wherever you're from, Pam from Connecticut, I want to make sure that I get a chance to make sure. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Miss Top of the Line, Milltown, wherever Milltown. What's Mill? Is that Milwaukee? Where Milltown at? Wanda from Jackson. Is that Jackson, Mississippi? Where is the Jackson? I want to make sure I know where you are from. Anybody else? Before we get started. So here's what I want y'all to do. Tonight's going to be question and answer period. And I'm going to break down some stuff. But I want to start this off with a story from one of my clients. I just got off the phone with one of my clients who's been with me. She's been with me a minute, okay? And she had a question because the question was centered around, top of the line, Milwaukee. All right. Dean from Houston, thank you so much. All right. And so the Royal Miss Lady, Vegas, tapping in. I like that. Tap in, Vegas. That's my place I go to once a year. All right. So I want to tell you about my client. So my client called before we got on live. And she's been with me a while, and I've taught her I've taught her a lot of things, but one of the particular things that I've taught her, what's up, Joey? Joey, what's good, Joey? Joey's one of the greatest barbers to ever have lived in our area. All right. So I want to tell you, she called me because she made a decision. I center stage said, y'all, I finally watched all the episodes of Decisions of Never Black and White. That's my TV show. Well, not TV, movie series. Hey, center stage. Hey, it was crazy. What she said, drama. It makes you think. It makes you think. Now, do you know that those episodes are based on my coaching? Those episodes are based on people who have reached out to me with tough issues like that. And we're going to talk about that tonight. If you have not seen, thousands have seen Decisions Are Never Black and White on Tubi. I'm on Prime too, but I tell people watch it on Tubi because it's free. All right, Decisions Are Never Black and White. And y'all, people have been inboxing me, emailing me, because I guess people, when I told them I had a movie out, I formed a production company based on my coaching. I don't think people knew what to expect. They probably thought, because some of Tubi's early stuff over the years probably wasn't the best quality. But now the quality control to get on Tubi is so difficult. But we got in and we launched last Monday, and we got thousands of people are like, yo, this is crazy. So if you have not watched my series, I suggest you go watch it tonight. It's called Decisions Are Never Black and White on Tubi and on Prime. On Prime, it's like $4.99. On Tubi, it is free. All right. So if you have not checked it out, thousands of people have checked it out. I'd love to get your opinion. And look, when you check it out, here's the question. I want to know what you would do in episode 1 and episode 3. What would you do in episode 1 and episode 3? And because, y'all, a lot of times it is easy. Center stage says good. It is good. Now, I ain't gonna even lie. It is good. And it took me months to put it all together. But now we're working on season 2 because it was overwhelmingly positive. And so we're working on season 2. And on season 2, y'all, we have more than 3 episodes. We're going to our goal is to have from 8 to 10 episodes of all of the different things that I've experienced in my relationship. And so I want all of you to go watch Decisions Are Never Black and White. And let me be honest, y'all. Can I be honest for a moment? I'm quite proud of what I'm doing. No, I'm not a film director. I'm a producer. I'm an executive producer of this show, but I have a production company where I have directors, other producers on my team, and many of you know that I'm on TV. I was going to say, all right, well, here's what you said. I'm an actress. Here's what I want you to do. First, I want you to go watch the series. And we're working on season 2. Go watch the series, Decisions Are Never Black and White on Tubi. And then send me your information to Coach Ken Canion at gmail.com. But you got to watch the series first. And then when you send me at Coach Ken Canion at gmail.com, you know what the series is about. So when we talk to you, send us an email and your contact information. All right? All right. All right, and then we'll put you on the list to send you the readings for when we cast the roles. All right, so here's what we're. All right, you two do the same thing, Valor. Do the same thing. Go watch. All right. So I wanted to say this. A lot of times when I coach people, it's always easy to say what you would do when you're not in the situation. It's always easy to say, girl, if it was me, I'd cut him loose. Well, if it was me, I wouldn't call him back. Or guys be like, yo, my man, I'm gonna tell you, if it was me, bro, this is what I would do. And so everybody, um, oh, the Miss Lady, Royal Miss Lady said, man, the show is so good. I would like to see a response to each episode from the cast. That would be dope. Oh, okay. See, you went to see him. Now, you know, Miss Royal, the one feedback that I got a lot of different feedback, but the one feedback that I got from the series is next season, they want me to give more commentary on what I told the people to do, all right, or how I coach them. And in this current series, the way that I did it, it's, I just did it. So let you decide. All right, let me jump into my stuff. So the client that I was talking to today, she was second guessing herself because someone in her life told her, I would not do that. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And so she called me and she said, Coach, what's the deal? I don't know. I'm second guessing myself. And then I took her through a process that I take everybody through. And I told her, and this process involves me asking subconscious questions that she knows the answer to right now. What show are you watching on Hulu? My show is not on Hulu. Decisions Are Never Black and White. It's on Prime and Tubi. It's not on Hulu. I don't know what you watching. What you watching, Journey? Anyway, y'all stop distracting me. Okay. So she didn't know what to do. And I took her through a series of questions, as I always do. And at the end of it, you know what she said? Now, the client is 45. So at the end of it, she said, Coach, thank you, because you made me realize, as always, that my voice has to be louder than everybody else's voice. You see, when your voice is louder, when your voice is louder than the next person's voice, than anybody else's voice. Now, get it. You can always get counsel from someone. Yes, it is wise to get prudent counsel. But what you do is I show them how to analyze the advice they've gotten and then put it into their own mind based on their own goals, based on their own alignment, based on the things that they desire. Then they can make a decision. And she made the decision. She said, I don't know why I gave the other person's voice more weight than my own. You simply reminded me of what I've already known. And so, y'all, tonight, I'm going to answer your questions. If anybody write down any question that you have, I'm going to answer it. Now, some of the answers you might not like, but I'm going to I can answer anybody's question. Now, some of the times I might need more context. I might need more information. And I will tell you, I cannot answer the question if I can't get more context. So write down the context in here. Oh yeah, Cardiac. I'm on Cardiac, October 21st. All right, but I was talking about my series. Decisions Are Never Black and White. But I get it. Yeah, I'm on Cardiac. And so anybody tonight, whatever questions you might have, because I decided I would do this, whatever questions that you might have regarding anything, all things relationships, and not just relationships romantic, y'all. See, some of the hardest relationships we have are the ones at the job. Some of the hardest relationships that we have are ones with our family and friends. And so I often say this. I often say, God put us on this planet to be social beings. He put us on this planet to commune with each other. And so here's the thing, and a lot of us are proceeding in this life with wrong information. I often say this: you cannot get right off of wrong information. And so, if we're getting wrong information, then how in the world can you solve your problems with faulty information? So look, so here's what I want to do. What I want to do is anybody, and normally I always have a million questions before we get on, but if anybody's got any questions pertaining to relationships, human behavior, the reason why you do, hey, what's up, warrior lady? What's good, warrior woman? Good evening. Good to see you. I appreciate you. All right. So, while I wait for anybody that's got any questions, I will say this. Anybody that I coach, a good coach does not ever tell you what to do. A good coach brings you to the threshold of your own understanding. You see, my job as a coach is to bring you to the threshold of your own understanding. Because the truth is, y'all, every one of us has the answer we seek really inside of us. Now, you may not know that you have the answer. You may not know that it's there, but it is there. And so my job is to help you unlock the answers that are already in you. Oh, someone said, I'm watching you moving now. Good. All right. All right. And so Royal MZ Lady says, Miss Lady, the Royal Miss Lady says, is it possible to respect a man or partner you don't trust? Now listen to what she asked. She asked the question, is it possible to respect a man or partner you don't trust? Okay. Now, trust and respect are very different things. Okay. Now, it is possible to respect a man you don't trust. Yes. All right. Because let me explain this. You might respect a man, right, for who he is, for the wisdom he provides. You might respect a man for the things that he has done, but you still might not trust him. But you still may not trust him with your heart. Does that make sense? Yeah. So in other words, yes, you can respect a man that you don't trust. Now, a lot of times we compartmentalize them together. We respect many people, we trust many people that we respect, but I would endeavor to separate them. To separate, do I respect a person and do I trust a person? There are people that I might respect, but I don't necessarily trust them. So to answer your question, Miss Royal Lady, yes, it's always better to have both, though, the respected person and to be able to trust them. But yes, you can do them separately. Okay, you can do them separately. Simply Lady says, I got on late. What am I supposed to do with the list of thoughts I wrote down all day? I'm glad you asked that because we're going to deal with that in a second about the thoughts, because that's going to be a part of the question. That's part of what I taught the lady today. So I wasn't going to spend the whole time on it, but those who didn't watch me, those who watched me yesterday, I told you to observe your own thoughts, because everything that happens to you, whether it's trust, whether it's respect, it is centered around the stories that you tell yourself. Everything you have in your life, everything you will attract, everything you invite in your life, everything you do, it centers around the thoughts that you have. And so, yes, Simply Lady, I am going to tell you, and I'm glad you had the list of your thoughts. I told you to write down the thoughts. Now, Simply Lady, what I want you to do is I want you to write down a couple of your thoughts that you just random thought that you've noticed today. And before I leave today, I am going to explain to you the power of observing your own thoughts. And that's called metacognition. I'm going to talk about that today, but I'm going to answer some questions first. All right. How do you communicate with the man who does not communicate at all? All right. Here's what you want to do. There is a process by which you communicate with the man that does not communicate. Number one, I'm gonna write it down. Write this down, George. And a lot of times you have not had the training that I'm going to tell you. If you really want to make it work, you got to get the training. First thing you do, there's a 4-step method to communicate with the man who does not want to communicate, who doesn't communicate. But first thing, understanding, before we get into the 4 steps, understanding that a man doesn't communicate with you because he doesn't trust you. All right, I'm going to start there. He either doesn't trust you, number one, or number two, he has been conditioned to communicate the way that he does. All right? One or two reasons. He doesn't communicate because he either doesn't trust you or he has been programmed or conditioned to communicate the way that he does. Let me explain this. Let me explain this to you. You see, a lot of men and women don't get this until I explain it to them. Do you know a lot of men have been conditioned not to communicate? And then you come along and you say, I just want him to communicate. But he has been conditioned. Let me give you an example. How many of you have small kids, maybe young boys, or they've grown up? And the young boy, when they are little, the young boys, if the boy's feeling his feeling, if he's hurting, if he's upset, what is the first thing we tell a young boy, especially a boy of color? What do we tell him when he's feeling something? When he's trying to process his feelings, we tell him, suck it up. Don't be no little punk. Don't cry. All right? Many of us, I grew up the same way. Many of us have done that. And then when you talk to young boy, and we do it all day in our community, that showing my feelings, communicating my feelings is a sign of weakness. And that little boy grows up into a young adult. And the only emotion that he is comfortable showing is anger. Because when he gets mad and it goes off and he explodes, he's comfortable showing that emotion. Because that emotion does not symbolize weakness. Unfortunately, because he has never been taught how to process his emotions. And then that young man grows into a grown man. And then he meets you. And then you say, communicate, communicate. But he has never been taught how to process his emotions. Or he doesn't trust you because the last time he told somebody, they said you in your feelings. You sassy. And so the man says, I will never show my feelings again. And many women out there have done this. And what they've done is they've hurt the man. And he says, I will never be hurt like that again. Or I've been conditioned that that's a weakness. And so this cyclical nature goes over and over again, over and over again. And so whenever you understand this, so they come to me and they come to me and said, I want my man to talk. I want him to communicate, coach, please help me. And I said, okay, I will help you. I said, but let me give you the formula first. I said, number one, understand that he came to you already conditioned. Either he doesn't trust you or he believes it's weakness to share his emotions. So understand that. So step one, you're going to tell the man where you want to end up. Step one. And what that means is you're going to tell him, hey, I know that I want to create a safe space where you can share with me, you can communicate with me. That is my desire. You tell him where you want to go. Don't expect him to go right away, but you tell him where you want to go. Now, why is that important? That is important because once you tell a person, you've planted a seed of where we want to go. Think about this, y'all. For any action to happen, The action, you have to introduce a thought to someone's brain. And all I'm doing is the first thing is I'm introducing a new thought. I would like to, I'm not telling you, you don't communicate, you don't talk. I'm not saying that. I said, I want to create a safe space where we communicate together. That is step one. Okay. Step two. Step two, you show him what it looks like and you communicate. You say, and sharing your feelings and not the lovers and not being waiting on him to share his. You say, hey, I just want to tell you this. And I understand that you might not feel comfortable sharing with me, but I want to tell you. This is what you're really doing. There are two things. The law of reciprocity. He's going to want to do it eventually. And then you're showing him what it looks like to communicate. Now, some of y'all ain't never been taught how to communicate yourself. So what he's seeing is not effective communication. What he's seeing is not the kind of communication that's going to get him to talk. But I'm just giving you the formula. Okay. Step two. Step two, you show him what he does. All right. What it looks like. Step three, you reinforce when he does share something with you, he didn't have to share. Here's what I mean. If he tells you something that happened in his childhood, what I want you to do is reinforce or praise him for it. You know what? You didn't have to tell me that. I appreciate you sharing your heart with me. I appreciate you sharing. And then it's just like a dog with a treat. The more you do that, the more the dog wants to treat you, the more they want to please you. What women don't understand about men is when you affirm him, when you appreciate him, he will do more of it because he wants more of that appreciation. But many of us don't appreciate him. Many of us don't affirm him. And I'm just giving y'all, I'm not jumping on either side. I'm just saying. And step four is simply this. Step four, don't ever weaponize something he tells you. Don't ever weaponize something he tells you. If he tells you something and you bring it up again, well, that's why your mama left you at the doorstep of your uncle's. He will never share with you again. It's done. So those are the four ways. And then and that's how I got my clients to get their guys to talk. Wow. All right. I hope you got that. Divine Punchline says, do you take sides when you meet with couples? Absolutely not. I never take sides. I don't care who invites me. The reason I don't take sides is because here's why taking sides hurts. How I prevent taking sides, let's say that. I prevent taking sides because I don't use four words. Something is good or bad, something is right or wrong. I don't use those four words because those words suggest moral judgment, and I don't use them. I only use two words, and I tell my clients this. Is it working or not working? So when you use those two words, is it working or not working? Now you can focus on solution-oriented conversations. That's the reason why it works for me. I've been so good at it. Let me see. Somebody said, I got my list as well. Okay. Watching right now. Didn't realize I need to watch with the kid. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Somebody says I'm watching a series now. Oh, yeah, you need to watch with the kids asleep. Not kid friendly. I'm sorry. I should have told y'all that. Yeah, this is adult. It's adult shows now. It's adult shows. All right, let's see what else we got. How long do we give him to eventually unlearn that? Okay. Unlearn what? Unlearn what? Unlearn. What are you asking, Mama Rossi? Unlearn what? Tell me what you mean, unlearn what? So I can answer your question. She said, how long do you give someone? All right, to unlearn what? All right, so let me see what's over here. Do I take sides? No, I don't. Thank God. Some pink lady says, thank God I made a safe place for my sons. They are emotionally intelligent men. That's good. Thank you, pink lady. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because we need that. All right, all right, all right. So, what to do? Sean says, what do you do when your husband may not want to go to therapy or counseling? Are they the same thing? They're okay. First off, let me explain to you. I don't even use the word counseling. Counseling is a fraud word because a lot of people go to counseling when they go to your pastor. Now, I'm a believer, but most people in church don't have a clue on how to counsel you. I mean, how to coach you. It's not counsel, it's either therapy or coaching. That's it. Counseling is just a name they came up with about a process. It's therapy or coaching. What is the difference between therapy and coaching? Here's the difference. Therapy primarily focuses on your past. All right. How did you get here? How did you arrive here? What question? I mean, what your past? What happened when you were a child that helped you to develop your belief system? That's therapy. And then there are therapeutic techniques that a therapist may use. Okay, you got it? Coaching can use therapeutic techniques too. But what a coach does that's a little different is coaching focuses on your future. It focuses on where you want to go. It focuses on putting you in a situation to be successful. Now, it can use your past. It can use the therapeutic techniques to help you get there. But that is the simplest way that I need to explain the difference therapy and coaching. Both of them are good. Both of them are necessary depending on where you are. Depending on where you are. Now, to go answer your question, Sean, does what to do when your husband may not be willing to go to therapy or coaching? I'm not going to say counseling. Are they the same? They're not the same, as I explained. Sean, here's what you do: model for him what that looks like. If you want him to change you, then you go. Then you begin, and I've told so many people this. I said, begin working on yourself because a lot of people don't want to work on themselves because they say the other person doesn't want to work on themselves. So what I always say, if you want a person to work on themselves, start working on yourself first and watch what happens. Because I did a live last week. I said, if you want your relationship to change, I remember this, go back and listen to it. If you want your relationship to change you. Change you, and the relationship will change. And I broke it down why, the psychological reasons of why it should change. What I would suggest to you, Sean, is start focusing on your metamorphosis, your evolution, and watch the person because people cannot stay around you when you're changing. They can stay, but they have to act differently. That's what I would say. That's how I would say. All right. So somebody says, correct. I have them both. Right. Therapy and coaching. Yes, both work great. I have to do both therapy and coaching for self. That is so good. Okay. So Mama Rossi, I want to go back to Mama Rossi. She says, what you were talking about, how conditioning to communicate. Mama Rossi, she said, how long do you wait for a man to communicate? Okay. And here's what I would ask the question for you. How long should he wait for you to change what he wants you to change? I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just trying to be honest. How long? Here's the answer to that. What is the relationship worth to you? That's the answer to it. Is the relationship worth the effort you got to put in and the time you must invest to see change? Because growth happens over time. Growth happens. It happens when there is habitual behavior that is exhibited over time. So that's what I would say to you. That's what I would say. All right, let's see what else we got. What other question do we have? All right, someone said I stray away from religious counseling. I ain't even trying to be funny, y'all, but a lot of people don't know. They think because they're a believer and they're a pastor, because they might put the word out there, that doesn't mean they're a good counselor or I don't even like they're a good coach. No, it just means you know the word and you can preach it or you can shepherd people, but it doesn't mean you're a good coach. I'm just saying. All right, Erica says this. Any suggestions on how to move forward when when as a child you want your mom to have better healthy relationship with you, but she continues to be emotionally unavailable and always makes it about her? Good question, Erica. What I would simply do is simply this. I would go to therapy and I would either go get you a good therapist or a good coach to help you unpack all of that, because you you are looking for love in a specific way that either mom didn't provide or she was unwilling to provide. And so I think you need to work through that. And so working through that is going to help you. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. Dr. Daphne Blue says, and understand that you just might have to leave the person, and I'll understand that. Dr. Blue, you're absolutely right. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. A lot of times when people, a lot of times when people are in a relationship, they are unwilling, they are unwilling to leave the relationship. And I'm not saying leave it, just walk away. Because I don't believe in walking away. I don't believe in walking away unless you've done everything you need, everything humanly possible to save the relationship. Okay. But you've got to ask yourself, is that relationship worth saving? Is it? Is it worth putting in the work? Is it worth investing the time, the effort to get better? I said I can help anybody in any relationship. All I got to do is say two things. Number one, both parties have to be willing, want the relationship to work. And number two, both parties have to be willing to do the work to help get the relationship to work. They have to be willing to do the work. If they're willing to do the work and they want to be together, I can save almost any marriage or almost any relationship. Period. Period. But sometimes, y'all, we've gotten to a point where we don't believe that things will change. And because we don't believe things will change, what we do is we tell ourselves it won't make a difference because they ain't gonna ever change. This ain't gonna ever change. And then what they do is they get discouraged, you get frustrated, and then you want to walk away from the situation. So all I'm simply saying is yes, don't walk away till you've done everything. And people always say, I've done everything, coach. I said, no, you haven't. You ain't called me yet. I said, you ain't done everything. You haven't called me yet. I said, look, and I said, after me, when people, like I had one client, one couple, they had been to 3 therapists before they came to me. Um, and when they came to me as a last ditch effort. They saw me on TikTok. Okay. They saw me on TikTok. And she reached out and she said, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but I told her, I said, give me 3 months. Give me 3 months, invest the time, money, energy, everything. Do you know their relationship did a 180, not 360, 180. 180. Now they go on cruises. They never wanted to be around each other. And so, y'all, what I always say is, but both of them, they met the criteria. Both of them wanted the relationship to work, and both of them were willing to do the work that it took to do to make the necessary changes. And so I will leave I will leave you with this. Oh, somebody you watching the show? Thank you so much. It's good. I saw somebody up here say that they was watching the show and I ain't want to stop. Well, I appreciate you. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say to y'all. I'm gonna say to y'all, yes, I work with individuals and I work with couples. I work with anybody. And y'all, let me say this to y'all. If you are interested in setting up a free 15-minute conversation with me, I've been doing these free conversations just because it's me giving back, right? Email me at coachkencanyon@gmail.com. That's coachkencanyon@gmail.com. And yes, I work with individuals and I work with couples and I work with family members. I work with everybody because I'm just that good. I ain't even trying to be funny, y'all. It's just my gift. It's just my gift. All of y'all got a gift. It's just my gift. All right. But that's what I want to say. And before I get off, here's what I want to say to everybody here. If you have not seen my series, Decisions Are Never Black and White, I want you to go to Tubi tonight. It's a put the kids to bed. It's an adult show, but go and it's based on my coaching. And I always say, y'all, you always think you got it hard. You always think you got it hard. I want you to go watch my series tonight. Decisions Are Never Black and White. And I want you to tell me, inbox me or write on whichever platform this is on, what you would do in episode 1 and episode 3. Episode 1 and episode 3. Okay? I'll get in touch. I'll get Coach. I'm looking at it right now. It's just coming on. All right, y'all go watch. Decisions Are Never Black and White. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Peace. Okay. Look, I promise y'all, I will go over the thoughts tomorrow. I promise. I'm sorry. I was going to do it tonight. I promise I will do. I had everybody. Let me deal with this because I don't want to be like a man. I'm not a man of my word. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. I will make it right. So I had everybody. I want to talk about thoughts for a moment. I had everybody yesterday who was on live. I said, I want you to just observe your thoughts. This is a therapeutic technique I'm using. All right. And the psychology behind it is called metacognition. And I told everybody, I want you to just analyze your thoughts. Don't judge them. I mean, don't analyze them. I'm sorry. Observe them. Just observe your thoughts. Just to see what you think throughout the day. When a thought pops into your mind, do not judge it. Just write it down. Just write the thoughts down. I am so sorry. I know you wrote the thoughts down, and I'm going to go over it tomorrow. I promise. Tomorrow is all about our thoughts. And I want you to write them down because I want you to see how your brain is conditioned with the thoughts that appear, with the thoughts that just pop into your mind. And what I'm going to do with that is I am going to show you how your thoughts create your reality, how your thoughts create the reality that you have in your life. My thoughts have created this reality of me being on a TV show. Tomorrow I'm gonna go over all of it. And for those of you who want to change your thoughts, but first, tune in tomorrow. But first, you need to know how you think. So what I want you to do is just write down your thoughts tonight, today, from today to tomorrow, just what you think. And I promise, I give you my word, tomorrow I will break down your thoughts. And I do apologize tonight because I got carried away. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Go watch Decisions Are Never Black and White on Tubi. And then let me know what you would do in episode 1 and 3. 1 and 3. All right. I appreciate you too. Center stage. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great evening. All right.